Alright, so this has been sitting here, about a week or so. Wanted to make sure that it dried as flat as possible as could be. Alright, so one thing we're going to do is we're going to cut. Okay, so this is the one I originally did. I re-put it flat because it started curling up again. So I just kind of wet it down and then put it to crush again. You can still see some of the curves in it, but it was nowhere near as bad as it was. Anyways, what we're going to do is one at a time. We're going to shoot those across the room. Oops, make sure you hold on to them. They will shoot. Oh, gotta cut the whole thing. Make sure you save them because you never know when you're going to need them again. That one's a little curved, but not too bad. Ah, there we go. Ah, right into my hand. Ooh. Suckers are shooting. Try to keep it as close to the styrofoam as you can. Ow. Those little ones really want to shoot. Okay, there's that one. This one I'm also going to sand that off. Ooh. Ah. That. Don't aim it at your face. These suckers are... See, a lot of the problem is, because it's an angle, so as it cuts, it springs it that way. Alright, and I'm not going to throw these away. I'm going to put them in there, because I never know, I might use them to make some tables, some chairs, square up some things, or maybe on another wooden project, maybe on another short wall. You never know. Alright. Go ahead and see if just the block can get rid of those. I don't really care too much if they're gone, because I could pretend they're a patch job or a repair job on the wood, but I definitely want them flatter than what they are. There we go. There we go. Looks a lot better. Again, slight curve. Would have been better if I pressed them flatter, but Okay, here's the other one. Now, let's draw some stone, shall we? Whoop. Move stuff out of the way. Make sure something's a little bit flatter than that. Don't have no edge. You might be a little too round. All right. Okay, so let's use the back of this one. There we go. Just got to make sure I don't angle it so it doesn't cut. And now we're just going to build it's a lot drier than the last one, but it's still I'm going to still do the bricks on it, even though I know somewhere around here is going to be the furnace. I do like the stone design instead of the brick design. I kind of like, see, I like that style. That's just me though. I like the look of that they had to find different stones to fit in the different spots. It's good to try and keep them square though, as I slowly start leaning to the side. Do 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 do. There's going to be a lot of drawn stones. Let's see, and throwing stuff, of course. Let's see, does this side work better? Yeah, this side does work better. I guess it's a little bit flatter. Just got to make sure I don't press hard. Because I don't want to cut it, I want to press it. And as you draw them, they'll slowly start to come together. Okay, so there's the stones drawn on that. If you want the process to go quicker, draw bigger stones. If you want it to look more detailed, draw smaller stones. But this is how you get that fun stone effect. Another fun way to keep it random is to just do a bunch of blocks and then start to fill in the smaller areas. Just a lot of work on your hand. A lot of work. But then again, making your own terrain is a lot of work. It's fun, and there are some ways that are cheap and easy, and some ways that are harder and more expensive. I like to try and keep a balance between hard and expensive and cheap and easy. One guy that always does beautiful, beautiful jobs, there's DM Scotty. He does a lot of nice ones. Let's see, outside of DM Scotty, or the DM's Build, I think is what his channel is actually called. The Terrain Tutor is really good. I really like his stuff. I haven't really watched the Black Magic Crafts. I'm told he's good, but like I said, I haven't seen him yet, so. You know, I can't really vouch for him because I haven't watched any of his stuff yet. Which is something I should probably do. Or if you've seen him and you really like his work, go ahead and tell me that you really like how he does his work. It's good to get ideas, I think, kind of from everyone. It's a good way to figure out how to do this, what you're doing and stuff. Watch a bunch of people, figure out a way that works for you. As well as, you know, we all like to work off of each other. I think this stone idea I originally got from DM Scotty. I think. I'm pretty sure. This, I came up with my own. And then I think the Terrain Tutor is where I got aluminum from. No, he does a rock. He does a rock. I kind of want to try the rock thing, but right now we're in the middle of winter, and so any rocks I find are underneath 2 feet of snow, so I really want to try that. Really want to try that. And then I'm going to try a different way of doing trash bags for my Fallout one that I'm doing. So I can put some trash bags in scatter train. Just small little trash scatter trains where it's just little trash cans and cardboard boxes. And I want to find an easier way of doing cardboard boxes than literally cutting up and folding tiny cardboard boxes. There, you know, I figured there's got to be a better, easier way. Maybe I'll just have to clay make some. I don't know. And then make a mold for it. So if you do it with a little gap in between, it kind of looks like there's mortar. Also, if you want to, you can paint it white first before you If you want to make it look more like brick and mortar, then I would say paint it white before dry brushing it. And one of the next houses I'll do, let's see, I'll actually, when I finish up this one, I'll have you guys vote on which one I do next for the village. I think that's what I'll do. So that way you guys can slowly watch the buildings I make for the village. So when I get closer to finishing this one, I'll run that poll and see what you guys think. That way you guys can see different techniques that you can do. Okay, there we are. There's all three of these. Now we're going to take our black paint and we're going to take a nice brush. Let's pick one that I can do a lot of the... This one will work. There we go. Because we're going to mostly fill in the cracks. Oh, actually, before we fill in the cracks, what we should do, where's my little aluminum ball? I got a bunch of aluminum messed around from when I do. So, you get a little tiny aluminum ball. One of these days I'm going to try it with the rock technique and see which one I like more. Like I said, make sure that you don't drag it, because then it will look like scratches instead of a rock face. And just kind of roll it around. Make sure you get everywhere. Now come back here. Just roll it around, roll it around. There we go. Gives that some nice texture. It's much easier to do this before you paint. And yes, I've learned that from experience as well. There we go. There we go. Whoops. Got a little scratch there because I dragged it on accident. Make sure you get the edges. You don't want the edges to look like they're smooth. Unless you do, well, then you're not doing a stone face. Okay. Now that we've got all that nice detail, let's go ahead and paint it up. Okay. Now, make sure you get the black in the cracks, because that's mostly what we're aiming for, is to get rid of all the white. Plus, we don't want it too thick, because that'll get rid of all that detail we just worked on. And then, you know, what's the point of rubbing all that stuff on it if you're not gonna... I also noticed that for terrain, I use a lot of bigger brushes, and then for models I use a lot of thinner brushes, so it's actually good to get those mix packs of big and small. And I'm going to paint the inside, mostly because, you know, that's where that's going to be visible, even though I'm going to put a door on it. The door is going to be smaller and made of wood, most likely that wood that we chopped up. I'm not too worried about painting the sides because I'm actually going to put in some wood, making capping off the sides, like cornerstones, like the wood made to hold in the stones, which did exist. Basically, I'm basing this off of old drawings and old, well, some of the old buildings that still stand to this day. Especially in Europe, because most of these buildings have been removed in America. Okay, there's that one. Set it to the side to dry. Woohoo! That's looking nice. We're getting closer to it, but the 23rd of March, I'll be gone for most of... No, I'll be gone the 22nd, the 23rd, 24th, 25th, and then on the 26th I'll still be gone because by then I'll be heading home. I think. Either the 26th or the 27th. I'll have to take a look. I'm going to be up at my sister's house having fun, taking pictures, looking at old stuff, playing Pokemon Go, relaxing, and then having fun hanging out, going to her massive library, looking at references, drawing people at the, well, I guess the beach isn't open yet. I might draw some people at the library. People watching. I like to do a lot of people watching. I think it helps me in my drawing ability. Draw people just sitting, reading, living on their daily lives, especially since, you know, work on my comic is starting to go along. I've started writing the script, and then I've started also writing the script on the little animated adventure that I'm going to be doing. And that one's going to be voice acted, and it's going to be crappily animated, but animated nonetheless. And I say crappily animated because I have no schooling or no real idea how to animate. I'm actually just drawing a bunch of pictures and then lining them up quickly, which everyone's like, oh, that's animation. It's like, yeah, I know, but I'm doing it slightly different where, you know, it's more like a dubbed comic than it is an actual animation. Alright, so let's set those off to the side to dry, as we now take, and I'm going to paint stones on the bottom here. Now you could either cut out some styrofoam and set it in here to make stones with, but I'm actually going to try and paint some stonework. So I'm going to take my dark granite. Again, I buy these at Walmart for really cheap. These are 50 cents. And then they've got some bigger ones that are more expensive. But I'm going to just fill in. I don't want it too thick because I don't want it to, at least I want to, do it thick in layers, not all at once, because I don't want it to warp the cardboard too much. In fact, you can actually do a light varnish spray before you do this if you want to. Make it non-matte, or make it matte, what's the word? Non-glossy. And it should still hold paint pretty well. I'm also doing it really thin because I want it to dry quicker. And I don't care if some of the cardboard brown sticks through, because that's what stones are. Okay, so there's the granite. And now I'm gonna grab I also want stones to mix in with each other a little bit, like they've been there a long time. Whoops, gotta mix it a little bit. It's always good. Shake them up. As well as you can drop little tin BBs in them. Make sure they're not copper, because copper will actually stain it gray, or stain it green. Alright, so we're gonna make a bunch of cobblestones. It actually might be best, so I don't accidentally make this dark gray. I'm going to take and squirt it a little bit more than that. There we go. That should be enough. Let's put that over here. It's actually not quite dry brush, but let's try to knock some of it off. You're like, Joe, right now it doesn't really look like rocks. No, right now it doesn't. You are 100% correct. Okay. Now, I'm going to take some more of that dark granite, put it right next to, I'm going to mix them together. Yeah, I definitely should have used less. And you should still be fine. Okay. My little sponge. And I'm going to start making a Doppler effect. That'll slowly get darker and then brighter as we make some texture for our stones. And it's okay if you go out of your box a little bit. I've actually never, I'm trying something new again. Haha. You gotta watch me as I try something new. I had an idea, and I figure, hey, let's try this idea. It's like I've got a sponge, and I've used it to make effects like this on horses. Okay, don't hit it too hard. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. Okay, then we're going to hit it with a little bit, just a wee bit of black or dark granite. And then let's mix that in and make a lighter version of dark granite. Might have been good to work from dark to light, actually. Maybe next time I try this, I'll start with black. Okay, so there's that. Now we're going to put a little more light in. I'm going to mix it up. And I'm actually going to take my really light, my granite gray, which is the brightest of my, mix it in. Mix in a little bit more. I'm going to make this bright. And I'm not going to fully mix it because I want it to have different colors in it. See? So I kind of see that swirl, bunch of swirls. Okay, then I'm going to I'm going to lightly dip and just kind of, whoops. Lightly dip, press off to the side. So we're basically dry brushing the stone. It's actually turning out better than I thought it would. I mean, I knew what I was doing all along. And then this sponge, I got it at the dollar store in a beauty kit. Which is where I also got some of my nice model clippers. There. Not perfect, but next time I do this, I think it'll look a lot better. I'm going to spread this out so it dries quick. No, I'm going to probably use this in my stonework, actually. They're going to be gray. You dry yet? Almost. There we go. This is just a quick, and I'm going to take this into the other room and actually clean it out. Because I don't have a sink in this room. So I'll soak you out and put this in one of these full of water, soak it up a bit and take it out. Alright, so now we set this aside to dry. Let's go put some darker gray back in you. Let's actually put some black in you. That'll make you dark really quick. There we go. And then we'll slowly lighten you up from there. Okay. Now I'm going to take the paint off so I can do my dry brushing techniques. Now we're going to slowly dry brush the paint on. But I think this will work for whatever episode this is. We did the floor, we did prep work. So the next video we'll start with painting these three, the styles on. Trying to make them kind of match that. It's best to paint them all together. I've learned that now. Let me make the mistakes so you don't have to, right? Alright, so that's it for this video. Hopefully this is the beginning of another video. Anyways, yeah. So I'll see you soon.